If you're considering moving out of state, there's definitely some things you're going to want to know before you start. Stay tuned for my 8 tips of how to move out of state
On the road again.
right after this. Hi, I'm Kevin Grolig, a real estate agent with Compass located in Potomac, Maryland. And thank you very much for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. So, you're thinking about moving out of state. Take it from me, there's a lot of stress and moving parts. So, let's dive in to those 8 tips. Tip number 1, you want a parts box. What's a parts box? Your parts box should be the last thing on the truck when you move and the first thing taken off when you get to your new location. Your parts box should consist of things like screwdrivers and Allen wrenches. You know, the tools you're going to need to either deassemble and reassemble things like furniture, chairs, beds, and things like that at your new location. All of the things like screws and nuts and bolts should also be put in a baggie and labeled for each piece of furniture. This way, when those essential pieces of furniture are moved in, like beds, maybe a chair or two, and a table, you have all of your hardware and all of your tools in one place. Oh yeah, a few other honorable mentions in your part box: toilet paper, paper towels, and cleaning products. Number 2, you're going to want to plan your move as early as possible. This would be the case really at any point in time. However, I'm shooting this video in November of 2021, and we all know about the labor shortages and supply chain problems, so it's never been more important than it is today. If you're doing the move yourself, book your truck early, or if you're having a professional do it, you want to do the same. Number 3, utility transfer. You want to make sure that before you leave your existing home and arrive to your new home that all the utilities have been set up in advance. The worst thing that could happen is on your first day moving in, you have no electricity, no running water, and no heat. Brrr. If you don't know who the utility companies are, you're going to want to either ask your realtor, ask your landlord, or management company. For goodness sake, you'll want to make sure that you have these transfers made well ahead of time. Number 4, vet your moving company. I usually suggest to get 2 to 3 bids. Be especially careful of moving companies whose bids may come in well below the competition. I hate using adages like, you get what you pay for, but guess what? In most cases, you get what you pay for. And sometimes it's even worse than that. I suggest you either ask a friend for a moving referral or ask your realtor. This day and age, obviously, you can check out social media as well, and I would check out review sites like Yelp and Google. Oh yeah, and I would also check the Better Business Bureau. I realize that hiring a professional mover can be expensive. If you want to save some money, you may want to consider buying your own boxes, buying your own bubble wrap and tape, and doing some of the packing yourself. Packing either all or the majority of your home on your own can save you a lot of money as opposed to hiring the mover to handle the whole enchilada. Number 5, temporary storage. Many times there are situations where you need to move your furniture and all of your possessions, but you're unable to move it into the new house that you're moving into. Maybe you haven't gone to closing yet. It's always a great idea to check into temporary storage before you move into your new home. Many moving companies offer temporary storage or pods where you can store your possessions off-site before you move into your new home. Number 6, winterization of your existing home. If you're planning to leave your Montgomery County home, or for that matter, any other area where it's prone to frigid cold weathers, between October and March, you want to make sure that you properly winterize your home before you leave. Coincidentally, you can check out this video right here on the things you want to do to winterize the interior of your home. There's really 3 main things in winterizing your home that you have to take care of before you leave. That's going to be, make sure that your heat is set at 62 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. You're going to want to make sure that you disconnect any hoses from outside hose spigots. And lastly, you're going to want to make sure that you shut off the valves on the inside that control the water going to the outside. Shut it off and bleed all the water out of the lines, and you should be fine. Performing these steps will prevent you from having major damage and, let's just say, a not so great Christmas surprise. Number 7, closing dates. If you're selling your existing home and then closing on a new home, it is possible to close on both on the same day, but I normally don't recommend that. Logistically speaking, it's better to have the two closing dates separated by maybe 2 to 3 days. Oftentimes there can be delays due to no fault of your own, your home buyer, or home seller, and certainly not your agent. Let's face it, sometimes happens. So it's best to place a few days buffer in between closings. Number 8, yard sale, estate sale, charity pickup, or the dump. Too often I see people who pack up everything, even stuff they don't want, and take to their new house. Guess what? You're gonna have to deal with it down there too. So let's discuss some things that you might want to consider in advance. Planning a yard sale or an estate sale well in advance may be something that you want to consider. Of course, there's always the option of doing the charity pickup, or you could take all your crap to the dump. For additional information on Montgomery County's awesome dump, check this video right here. So those are my 8 tips for moving out of state with as little hassle as possible. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, place a comment, or share this video. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in a series, Real Kevin. As always, for additional information on moving to Montgomery County, from Montgomery County, or within Montgomery County, text me directly at 240-793-7495. See you next week.